He actually says, "You guys actually paid for that piss? Bless your hearts." So I replied, "Better than what your mom paid for that clearly didn't take since you're still here. Bless your stupid face." And he said, "Wow, sensitive bro, it's piss. Dude's right. Wow, the real Kool-Aid man and Dom DeLuise." And I said, "So did you survive an abortion too, or is it fetal alcohol syndrome? I can never tell." So somebody asked the question, why? Says, because his mother had an affair in 1982 and thought his dad didn't know, but he did. So I just throw shade at people. This one dude was so happy about me talking shit back. He's like, "I'm subscribing just for that. I haven't even listened to your show. I'm subscribing because you talk shit."
I see her rolling up over black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Now You Made It Awkward podcast, episode 106. I am Shoky. You can follow me at all the Shoky-related links down below, whether that's Shoky reviews or the It Doesn't Have to Make Sense channel, or, of course, this one. That would be fun if you actually check this one out. And with me today, I do have a special guest, Jordan. If you guys recall, he was our Elvis-shaped friend, as it were, from a few months ago when he came by.
I think I was wearing the same shirt, too.
Don't think it was the Bucky shirt. I think it was a different one.
Maybe.
I don't know. I have to go find out. I feel like that one was pinker for some reason. I don't know. But either way, welcome back to the show, bud. Glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Jeff was going to be involved, but unfortunately, he got into a minor incident with a curb and forgot how to step off it properly. So his ankle got a little bit twisted. So he claimed he was feeling better, but just due to a whole bunch of circumstances, I just said, "Don't worry about it. Not like you need to be hauling your ass up 3 flights of stairs with a bad ankle anyways."
For real.
Yes. So, guys, make sure you do the like and subscribe thing here on the YouTubes, or if you want over on Rumble, you can go check that out over there. We can always use more support on the Rumble side of things because YouTube, take us down sometimes. Mm-hmm. Who knows? Talk about the wrong thing at the wrong time, and they'll be like, "No, you must go away."
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Always with the moderators.
Always. And, of course, if you would like to support this show and anything else I do, you can check out the Shoky Reviews Patreon, link in the description down below. For as little as $5 a month, you can get the full video, uncut version of the podcast, because I only put up like the first 30 minutes of video, and then the rest is straight audio, which I screwed up this morning.
Uh-oh.
So new episode went up this morning for 104. With the way I edit things, I accidentally muted the teaser intro. So it's rolling and it's dead silent. And then we get to the intro for the show because I export the audio separately from the video, but I put the audio only on the audio-only websites.
Oh, my God.
So it doesn't include the intro teaser because there's no point in not seeing that. So I figured that out this morning. So I think I might have to fix that and upload it tomorrow and just eat the few views, maybe. Or I'll just trim off the teaser part because now I do funny teasers at the beginning of the episodes. But on top of that, guys, if you want to contact the show, you can do so at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com. If you want to write in with questions, comments, or requests for things, I don't know. You can do that. It's in the link down below. Well, actually, it's not linked. It's just down there, so you don't have to remember how to spell it. And then on top of that, you can go follow our Facebook page, which is Now You Made It Awkward Podcast, which you just tagged me in on a post saying you were here. So wait, let's spoil it 2 weeks in advance.
I mean, it's in the... Well, I didn't... Yeah.
Yeah, because this won't come out for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're two episodes ahead right now. And I'm going to be recording another one next weekend. So we'll be 3 weeks up with extra content in between because we filmed a whole bunch of stuff.
Hey, well, whoever checks out this Facebook story will probably go check it out.
Yep, indeedy. We need to get you like a nice button-up version of our merch.
Yeah, right. That'd be nice.
I have not designed a Hawaiian Naimia shirt. I should. So basically like your Bucky thing, but it would be our facepalm logo. I could probably manage it because I have all over tees. I could probably manage that.
Yeah.
We'll see. Or I have designer people. So the other thing is with the Facebook, you can totally write in comments or send in voice messages like our buddy Shaun does every week. And yes, I prompted him right before the show to say, hey, send in a question real quick. So he's got a question for us right quick, and then we will get rolling with the rest of the show. Let's see what he's got. I'll make sure I hit. Yep, okay.
Question for the pod. Hey, who do you think was more impactful to music during their generation, I guess you could say? Prince or Michael Jackson?
Ooh.
That's a hard one.
Heavy hitting question there from Shaun. Like sometimes you ask really dumb questions like, hey, do you and your spouse have nicknames for your junk? And then this one, he's all like, hey, you got a musician in there today. Let me ask a music question. Who's more impactful? I mean, would Prince have been Prince without Michael Jackson?
Probably not. I don't think so.
Because he was after the fact.
Yeah.
You know, but he still was, because he was still screwed up with some of that Motown stuff too, right? Like later, like tail end of the Motown era that everybody got screwed in by, what was that, Berry Gordy? Because that's what you did back then. You just screwed over your musicians.
Yeah.
You know, whether your name is The Colonel or Berry Gordy or somebody else or whatever Britney Spears. Taylor Swift, her whole situation. It's amazing that the same tricks work even in the 2000s, right?
Yeah, don't even get me started on Taylor Swift. Not a big fan.
Yeah, I got no beef with her. I mean, like her private jets pollute so much, but then you got all these little climate dorks like loving her concerts. I was like, yeah, she flew from Japan back to the U.S., 2 private planes to go to the Super Bowl, and then flew right back to Japan. So it's like, yeah, about that pollution standards. Either way, back to the question at hand. I mean, I'm not a big fan of either. I don't have any issues with Prince or Michael Jackson, but I would say that Michael Jackson was probably more influential overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think you could have one without the other.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Because I feel like both were trying to escape a certain image at one point. And like, because when he was Prince, obviously, and then he became the artist formerly known as Prince. But I think that was to get away from the record label problems, right?
Probably.
That's why he renamed himself, so that anything he recorded now was his. Because if he kept it under the Prince name, it belonged to whoever, I think. Might have that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why he did that. You know, because I don't think he owned all his music. I could be wrong. If Ricky was here, he'd be yelling at me. Because he knows all this shit. We should just call him up. Ricky, jump in the podcast real quick. Oh, I can't, because we had the Fat Cam. Fat Cam is rolling over there. Wave to the Fat Cam. There you go. Yeah. So that's the extra wide cam, showing that how extra wide we are. And you're losing weight. You've been working hard at it.
Yeah.
I am not. Actually, no, that's not true. I have lost a little bit of weight because it's so damn hot. I was down to 310. I was 315.
Oh, wow.
318 one time. That's a bad week. But yeah, I weighed myself last night and I'm down a couple pounds, I think, just from sweating so much. And then the wifey has actually been losing weight. So
Good.
she even weighed herself last night and lost 2 more pounds.
Nice.
So she's not doing anything different other than like really keeping on her metformin that she's not taking for weight loss, but it kind of is a side effect of it.
Yeah.
She's taking that to keep her pre-diabetes in check. That's what that's for. So I guess it is what it is. But also I think eating better, so to speak. Like we're eating a lot more real food, a lot less totally processed nonsense.
Yeah.
You know, we have our bad days. Yeah, we all do. All right, go ahead and pull that mic a little closer to you. There you go. Yeah. Because it can swivel, it can move. You can, you can, you know. Yeah, just don't turn the one way, because then it'll just go flop.
Oh yeah.
Because it'll come unscrewed if you turn it that way. You'll see it. You'll see it instantly when it does it. So either way, you're unfamiliar. It's new equipment since the last time you were here, and you're not sitting over there, tucked away in the corner. You got the Jeff corner. So you're the first person in a while, I guess, because Andre was the last person to come in here alone, as it were. So either way, I don't know, guys. You guys let us know. Prince, Michael Jackson, which one do you think was more influential? I think Michael Jackson, but in some ways it's going to be opinion based, but I feel like his overall work is probably speaks more volumes. Because wasn't he also a fan of Elvis?
Yeah. In fact, actually, I believe that he kind of, the famous toe stand that Elvis did?
Yeah.
I think Michael Jackson stole that from Elvis.
Well, I mean, Elvis borrowed a lot of his stuff from other people
Well, yeah.
throughout the years.
I'm just saying, Michael Jackson could have been like, hey, Elvis did it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. The question is, did he start doing it after Elvis was dead? We have to look into that, I think.
Yeah.
Because it probably would be after. Because I remember it clearly from the 80s. Elvis died in
77.
77, yeah. I mean, you would definitely know. Speaking of which, how was your trip to Graceland? You did that in between the last time we sat down on camera.
It was worth it. Every minute, every second of it was totally worth it. Me and my wife got the $240 package. Like, hers was $240, mine was $240. But it included the archives pass. And so we got to view everything there. I got to hold up his cape that he wore. And it was just a lot of fun. And then we hit the just a little bit of the stuff that we got to see. But the main room that I really liked was the jumpsuit room. Phenomenal. I started ice surfing.
Dude, there's you can't even take it all in.
No.
What is it? Almost 2.5 stories of just jumpsuits. There's 4 tall, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of pictures. Well, I got a lot of pictures in there. It was just the whole ass wall, and then get a few up close because you can only do whatever. But it'd be cool if you could get get on a thing that could take you up and look at the taller ones.
Yeah, and his mansion, Graceland, that was.
See, we didn't do that.
It is beautiful. Very untouched. I mean, they clean it up, but it's untouched. Obviously, can't go to the second floor for reasons unknown. I guess out of just respect for Elvis.
That's where the bodies are.
Yeah, maybe. No, but yeah, it was beautiful, and the staircasing. There was stairs all over the house. I'm like, why do you need so many stairs
To flex on them.
Yeah, right.
Which stairs would you like to go up? That one, that one, that one. I got 6 in the back. Well, I mean, because we didn't do the mansion, we did the just the museum and stuff like that. And I was into the car museum, but checking out the planes was cool. But it's also a similar situation. You walk through the plane and you're just like, oh my God, there's more seating here than I've ever seen in anything. And it's not like airplane seating. It's like a lounge.
Yeah, and he's got a bed in the back.
Yeah, and the bigger one, not the little guy. I definitely got claustrophobic looking in the small one.
Yeah, I think that was the Colonel's plane, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that was just Gel Force 2.
Yeah.
I forgot what the actual names of the planes are, but they're on the side. I should remember these things. But
I know one was Lisa Marie.
That was the big one, I believe.
That was a big one.
That part was cool. But, I'm a car guy, so I really enjoyed checking out. Because I did not know he had that many crazy cars. He's got some one-off stuff in there, and then the motorcycle collections, the crazy trikes and stuff like that. I was like, this is awesome.
Next time, definitely check out the mansion. Worth it. And then the property itself behind the mansion. It's beautiful.
Well, we were on a road trip elsewhere. That wasn't our destination, so that's the only reason we didn't go for more stuff.
You were just going there, checking a couple things out and leaving?
That was the consolation prize for the wifey for being dragged along on a road trip for me. It was my road trip, but she's like, well, if we're going to Graceland. I was like, okay.
Where are we all headed?
Maryland.
Ah.
So we're going that same path. You just keep going northeast until you hit Maryland, essentially. But what's really funny, because you guys drove too, right?
Yeah, we drove 8 hours. It seemed like forever just to get out of Texas.
Yeah, it does. Well, the funny thing is, and I said this, I was like, if you didn't stop anywhere and there were no signs, you wouldn't realize you were out of Texas until halfway through Tennessee.
Yeah. Because
it looks the same trees and everything else. It's not until you get into the start of the mountains in Tennessee where things actually changed, like topographically. I was like,
Yeah,
this just looks like more Texas.
driving through Arkansas, I have never seen so much corn in my life.
Oh, so it definitely wasn't corn season when we went.
Yeah, it was.
Didn't see anything like that. We saw there was either pre-plant or pre-harvest or well, there's no standing corn, I should say. So it may have been the in between.
Yeah.
Because they rotate fields as well. So who knows? But yeah, definitely didn't see any corn. But we're going
So much corn, and it was so flat.
Oh yeah, Arkansas is flat. So it was hilarious because I had a friend who came to Texas from Maryland. He went to Austin and he drove the whole way with his wife, and he's like, Texas is so flat, and I had no idea what he was bitching about. It's like, Texas really isn't that flat. We have rolling hills and then the occasional mountain. But then I realized, oh yeah, compared to where he came from, this is very flat. I was like, he exaggerated and said, it's like you could just see for miles. It's like, not really. It's like Kansas is more like that. If you ever gone through Kansas, Kansas is
yet.
nothing. Like that, I've only been through Kansas once, and the only thing I remember was being able to see to Colorado.
What?
Yeah, so you can we're heading west down whatever highway because we went up through Oklahoma and then across Kansas to get to Colorado. And I was driving once the sun came up. Everybody else was asleep, so it was just me. And so I'm just watching this beautiful sunrise over just endless fields. And then gigantic trucks, the UPS and FedEx trucks, but they were like triple long, which I had never seen before. I was like, which is terrifying when you're, how old was I? 20 years old, driving a van full of people and these massive trucks going past you. And then I just remember, just vaguely in the distance, getting bigger and bigger were the frickin' Rockies. It's like, because there's nothing across Kansas. There's just nothing, just dead flat land. So, screw you, Joe. Texas is not as flat as Kansas. I love Joe. I haven't talked to him in a while. So did y'all do anything else on that trip?
We ate at Marlowe's.
Okay.
Did you happen to stop there for?
No, we blasted through.
Dude, you gotta try Marlowe's. The best barbecue I have ever had.
Okay.
Like, I had the pork ribs there. As soon as I picked them up, they fell off the bone.
Damn.
They were good.
Some would say it's overcooked.
No.
I know, I'm just kidding.
It was good.
I'm being a Texas snob here.
Yeah, but it's a lot better barbecue than Texas.
Whoa.
Sorry, Texas,
Bro.
but
Bro, you got to get some good Texas barbecue then.
Well, we're good for the brisket. But as far as ribs and stuff like that, Tennessee's got.
I would say locally you're probably correct, but there's definitely way better barbecue around.
Maybe.
But no, Tennessee. Our goal was to get to Nashville before nightfall, so that was a long drive from here to Nashville, stopping in Memphis.
Yeah. The next time we go up there, I'm probably gonna get the barbecue spaghetti that they got.
Barbecue spaghetti.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. It sounded weird, but it sounded interesting.
Yeah, now I'm interested in what the heck exactly is in that.
I don't know. I'd have to try it out next time. And we also went to Elvis's favorite Italian restaurant out of Memphis. It starts with a V. I can't remember the name of it at the moment, but I ate his favorite barbecue pizza.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay. I guess the recipe might have changed throughout the years or something. I don't know.
Ingredients, a bare minimum.
Ingredients, maybe. But it was brisket on the pizza. I thought it was going to be actually barbecue sauce mixed in with the cheese, like some you get from Papa John's or something.
Yeah.
No, it was a big old pizza with some chopped brisket on it and whatnot. It could have been cooked a little bit longer because the crust was a little...
Still a little doughy.
Yeah, a little doughy. Kind of like a moist...
Mm-hmm.
Probably from the
Didn't
oils.
get crispy enough. Yeah.
Nah. But it was pretty good, and I sat in the same room that Elvis sat in when he ate. They call it the Elvis room.
I wonder why.
Yeah, right. I'll just look around, and it was
that didn't cost more, did it? It just
no.
Okay, I didn't know if there was an Elvis experience that you had to pay $30 for or something.
No, but
they should do that if they're not.
Yeah, that would be cool, but it looks untouched.
Yeah.
So the retro, '70s, '80s panel walling and all that. I mean, the roofing and the flooring might have gotten replaced, but
Probably.
other than that,
Have you ever considered, because I know you got your jumpsuits, have you ever considered like getting a clone of like his army outfit? Like for like do something a little bit different, like put on almost like a USO show?
I would have to get skinnier for that.
True, but I mean you can always get something to fit.
Maybe.
You know,
Maybe.
we can make
Well, they B&K, I think B&K Enterprises or AJM Jumpsuits has the Army replicas.
Nice.
Yeah, from the GI Blues movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we saw like all his uniforms and stuff like that going through the rest of the museum.
Yeah.
Which I honestly like. I don't know how much time you spent there. We were there for like 3.5 hours, like just on the part we did.
We were there for a good 5 hours roughly.
Yeah. Well, you did the museum tour or the mansion tour as well. So
Yeah.
and we didn't. I don't think we got the things for like the movie section. Yeah, we definitely didn't do
The
that.
movie section was all right. It wasn't all that. I mean, I liked the movie, but it's nothing really to
Oh, I can't
brag about.
I'm trying to remember. I don't think they were screening the Elvis movie yet when we were there because I think the movie was still really fresh. I don't think they could screen it yet. But of course, since then we've seen that movie, and then I saw the sequel movie, Dune 2.
Oh yeah, I haven't even seen the first one yet.
I just make the joke because Austin Butler is the bad guy in Dune 2.
Oh.
So the guy who plays Elvis is playing a not Elvis character. Just it's a joke. It's a joke, everybody. Come on. Lighten up. Speaking of which, actually, give me a second. Let me pull this up because there was a comment I want to read. So I do respond to comments on YouTube. It's not really on Facebook, but because certain episodes, especially our taste testing episodes, where we tasted. I think your phone is making. Yeah, it helps if you set it on the shelf right there. Yep. No, that other gap, like to your. Okay. There's a big gap right there. You can see where Jeff usually sets his shit. Oh, yeah. All right, so I want to read this comment anyways because I do reply to comments. I just got to go find it. But it was on the Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura vodka. So their Porosos vodka. So a lot of people talk shit in that one because they just have a problem with Bert or Tom. They don't care about the vodka, but they talk shit. So this one, I responded to a while ago. It was 2 months ago. So he actually says, "You guys actually paid for that piss? Bless your hearts." So I replied, "Better than what your mom paid for that clearly didn't take since you're still here. Bless your stupid face." And then another guy replied today. Or this morning, and he said, "Wow, sensitive bro, it's pissed. Dude's right. Wow, that's the real look." I'm assuming he's going to say Kool-Aid Man and Dom DeLuise, right? So he says look-aid. And I said, "So did you survive an abortion too, or is it fetal alcohol syndrome? I can never tell." So it's like, I'm just talking shit. But if he's going to talk shit, I'm going to talk shit back. So
it's always them trolls.
Yeah, so he replied, he said, "Relax, man. Like the Aussies say, I'm just taking the piss, breaking your balls like the Italians. Take it easy." So he was talking shit, but I talk shit back too.
And then he's like backing off.
Well, I don't think he backed off. Is like, well, the problem is sometimes tone doesn't come across right.
Yeah.
And like, I'm usually pretty easy in some of my replies, but sometimes I like that one. I went pretty far, but
like sometimes you see the comment and then you take it offensively. Yeah. They don't mean it that way.
Yeah, that happens quite often. That's just where tone gets confused.
Yeah.
But, like, the joke was, of course, that Jeff was wearing, like, a Kool-Aid shirt, so he was actually, like, the big Kool-Aid man. But calling me Dom DeLuise, which I get now for the hat. Yeah, thanks. But, like this one here, this guy said, "I refuse to buy or drink this based on the owners of the company." Like, I mean, you can have standards, fine.
What's wrong with the owners?
Some people are just pissed at Tom and Bert for no reason. They're just comedians. They just get mad at them. I don't know why. So somebody asked a question, why, asking why they won't buy it, and said, I replied to that. Hey, how about I just break that? It says, because his mother had an affair in 1982 and thought his dad didn't know, but he did. So I just throw shade at people. As one dude was so happy about me talking shit back. He's like, I'm subscribing just for that. I haven't even listened to your show. I'm subscribing because you talk shit. That's funny. Either way, so yeah, that was a comment exchange that I had at 5 a.m. And I was like, I never read the reply because I needed to get to work and I didn't want to be pissed about anything. But I just thought that was funny. And I do read the comments, and we've had no time for any other stuff because we recorded 2 episodes this week. So other than Shaun's question, we don't have anything else going on. But I did hear something earlier via the Twitters, because, Twitter is a great space for stuff like that.
Yeah.
And since you're a married man, and I'm sort of a married man, what are your thoughts on women proposing to men? Would you ever see it as emasculating? Like you're somehow less of a man if your woman proposed to you?
No, not really. I think if you're truly in love with the person, whether it's the man with the woman or the woman with the man, or today's standards, not even going to go there. But
You can go there.
Whatever. But if it's true love and you want that person in your life, it doesn't matter who proposes to who. It just matters that you love each other.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that 100%. But I also think, women have been proposing to men for a really long time. And it only came up because this girl in the Olympics proposed to her boyfriend right after running a race.
Oh.
So she jumped up in the stands and proposed to him so that was she chose that moment, even though she didn't win or anything. She just, I'm here, you're here with me, will you marry me, basically.
I think it's more of the fact that that person was willing to be there for her important moments in life. Maybe she saw that and she's like, I like
well,
that.
I assume she planned it out, guys normally would.
Yeah.
So wait, how did you propose to your wife?
Ironically, it was just almost like my dad had proposed to my mom in a bar. I wasn't drunk. I had maybe 2 beers, and that's it. But that was just to calm the nerves because I was nervous. At first, it was gonna be a promise ring, but then I was like, wait a minute, promise rings ain't for adulthood. That's for more high school stuff. So I just screw it, engagement ring, whatever.
Yeah.
So I sang, I think it was the song "Pledging My Love" by Elvis.
Okay.
And then, she came up to the area that I was at for it was on a karaoke night.
Okay.
And I got done singing that song, and I was wearing a cowboy hat, a purple shirt, blue jeans, and boots.
Nice.
And I had the ring in hand. It was in my pocket, but
You had it on hand.
I had it on hand.
There you go.
Same
Not
difference.
not literally.
Well, whatever.
For all you weirdos out there.
But after I sang that song, got down on one knee, took off the hat, sat on a chair, and proposed. I was kind of it was emotional.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can remember the exact words, I should remember the exact words I said, but it was somewhere along the line of how she was there for me when my mom had passed away, and that so always being there and whatnot, and that I want that in the relationship and for the rest of my life. So I said somewhere along those lines that she's been there for me, and been my rock when I needed it. Because men they get vulnerable too. I mean, whether they want to admit it or not, they get vulnerable. But so I proposed to her. She obviously said yes.
The 3rd time. I'm just kidding.
The 3rd time?
I'm just kidding. It's this was the 3rd attempt, and she just finally said yes. No, I'm just messing with you. Because that happens sometimes.
That's sad.
Where something's how do you propose to the same person multiple times? It's you actually stuck around after the no. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Or desperate.
Probably desperate.
Indesperate. Trying to combine impressive and desperate. I don't know. I'll work it out later. We'll workshop it. So she said yes. You eventually got married,
Yeah.
like 6 minutes later at the courthouse.
No, we got married September 4th, 2022.
Nice. I'll make sure to bleep some of that so we don't get any password issues for you in the future. I'll at least do the year. There you go. No, because the funny thing is, so Jessica and I aren't technically married. In a lot of legal senses, we are.
Common law married.
We're common law married, even in the eyes of my company, because she's on my insurance as my common law spouse.
Right.
Because by that point, we had already been living together for like a year. So, we'd already been together. In fact, let's see. I was going to say we're past our anniversary now, but we're on 9 years now together. So
Nice.
But we're not married, because I was under the impression that when you marry someone, you incur their debt. Now, that's depending on the situation. You can incur their debt when you get divorced. It's not just immediately. So because she was buried in college loans, federal college loans at that, I was just like, look, I'm nearly out of debt. I've been in debt since I was 16. It's like, and I've only been out of debt twice in that amount of time. So it was like, no, I don't want to accidentally incur your debt in case you decide to leave me here in a couple of years. Because, we could have gotten married 2 years on, for all it mattered.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm pretty sure we were both sure at that point. But I'd been engaged right out of high school. So me and my high school girlfriend, at least the one that I ended up with, the other girl, on the other hand, that I mentioned the last episode, not talking about that either way. She went a different route, and I'm kind of glad I didn't end up with her. I feel bad for the guy she did marry.
I feel that.
So the only proposal I've done was very lackluster. You almost pulled an Andre. Andre spilled his drink there. You don't want to just kind of scooch it that way.
Yeah.
Away from the electronic equipment. There you go. So I literally just kind of, so she knew I already got her the ring and everything like that. She hadn't seen, I think she kind of picked it out. It was from Walmart. I remember it was $89, which was a lot of money for a guy who was just sacking groceries.
There's no, there's nothing wrong with Walmart rings.
No, and it was like this nice like gold with the fake diamond. It was a dolphin because dolphins were her favorite animal.
Yeah.
So, cause since it's the only ring I ever bought, I remember that. Actually, that's not true. I technically did buy Jessica some jewelry. Did I get her a ring? I think I got her the matching ring and earrings. It was like opalescent type stuff. Got it at the Renaissance because I just bought myself a very expensive knife.
I love the Renaissance Festival.
Well, maybe we can. Oh yeah, we talked about this Monday, the men's group. That's right.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, we need to get you a medieval Elvis costume because I feel like that would be
actually cool.
Really cool.
I
if
kind
we
of
could
thought
design
about it.
Dude, seriously though, hit up James. They can help you. They make their own stuff.
Really?
Yes, they are cosplay nerds. They will help you develop it and make it. They have all the know-how and the tools. You've never seen James's costumes. Like,
no.
Go through his Facebook page, and you can see all the cosplay costumes they make.
How much do you think he would charge?
I have no clue. I don't know if he would charge you or you just pay for the stuff and they help you. I mean, materials are materials.
Yeah.
Work is you help do the work.
Yeah.
Right. So either way. So I proposed to her literally sitting next to her on the couch at her mom's house. I was like, hey, do you want to get married? For anybody who didn't see me, I literally was just, hey, So, yeah, that was the only engagement I technically had. But Jessica has been married before and divorced. Her husband, he's dead now, but he did not die on her. He died many years later. So I always joked that since she's been married and I haven't, she should properly propose to me. But because I'm a dude, I don't want a ring. I want a watch. So you could spend a few $100 on a nice watch. I'm not really a watch dude, but if it's like my engagement watch, I'll fucking wear an engagement watch.
So I forgot where I saw this from, but somebody said that, not somebody, but like I saw it somewhere where it said that rings were like a pagan thing. That's not really biblical.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not biblical. I'm pretty sure we borrowed that from a lot of other things. But I mean, like, the idea of getting married in the church versus getting married with the government is two separate things.
Yeah.
Like, and I believe, total separate conversation here, that if people want to get married, it should be in one of two different manners. You either do it in the church or you do it with the government.
Yeah.
And one should be good enough for the other to accept. Well, I should say, if you get married in the church, the government should accept that, but not have to be a part of said marriage if you don't want it to be. Because we run into like the gay marriage thing, and I'm like, who cares if they want to get married? Let them get married.
Yeah.
It's just a piece of paperwork to the government that affects nothing in your own life except for your own satisfaction of finally being able to do something other people got to do.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, we went through this with her moms. You know, they've been together forever. Wasn't legal for two women to get married yet. You know, Obama made it legal. Texas eventually said, okay. So they got married as quick as they could because they'd been together for freaking ever.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like, okay, but if marriage, like where it came from, the idea of marriage came from the church, then they should call what happens with the government something else. Like civil unions, something like that. Because there were some people who were pushing for the idea of civil unions.
Yeah.
For it to be that way, gay people could get married. Or married, quote unquote. Because somebody made the joke is like, you can be married, and then if you get married in the church, that's super marriage. That's like God gets involved, not just the government, you know? Because being married back in the day was a covenant between not just you and your wife, but a covenant between you, your wife, and God / the church, you know? Because you weren't just held accountable by your wife, you would be excommunicated from the church, and you'd be seen as, like, maybe not necessarily a sinner, but there would be a blight on you if for some reason your marriage had to end, because it is a holy union in the eyes of the church.
Yeah.
Then, of course, later, you know, sometimes weird tax problems and everything's like that, you know, things start getting manipulated throughout time. The more government gets involved, the more things get twisted and bent. And also leading eventually to why there are so few marriages in particular racial constructs. Why you have a lot of single mothers and absent fathers, all due to government involvement,
Yep.
almost directly. So now women get married to the government directly to help support their children because they get paid better than having a man in the house. Because that's how we did things. Stupidity.
Yeah.
But I think that it is not emasculating for a woman who loves her man to perhaps beat him to the punch.
Exactly.
But, and this is something I say with Jessica, because she wants a ring. Whether we actually get truly married, whatever, she wants a ring from me. And I said, fine, I will get you a ring. You told me your idea for a ring. I will pick out the one that I like that fits your needs.
Yeah.
And then I told her, every time you bring it up, I'm going to push it back another month. And she keeps bringing it up. I'm like, we're like past December at this point. I was like, I told her. I was like, if you stop bringing it up. And because like she's been wearing a ring that she bought, either she bought for herself or she got from this lady who used to have a shopping addiction. Like she would just buy everything on Home Shopping Network and stuff like that.
Sounds like somebody I know.
Uh-huh. You mean live with? So we ended up with like a lot of purses and a lot of jewelry because she just kind of had to get rid of it so her husband didn't see it.
Yeah.
So she had money. It wasn't a problem. It was just the idea that she was constantly shopping. So I think that's where she got this ring that she's wearing now. But thank God I did. So, because I know she doesn't listen. But I have to check. She might have like a baby monitor in here or something. I took that ring because I know it fits her. And I think she did this on purpose. I think she manipulated me. So I needed to know what the ring size was, obviously. So she left it in her little jewelry box, but she had worn it for like 2 days, just for fun, I guess. And this was back in like February. So I took the ring and I looked up how to measure a ring size from a ring. Because obviously on your finger, totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So figured it all out, measured a thing, went on a couple. I went to the link she sent me for the ring she was looking at. It was an Etsy shop. It's like, I'm not gonna buy a homemade ring on Etsy. I was like, I understand the quality might be shit. I just don't have anything to trust, right? So I went and looked elsewhere. She may or may not get an Amazon ring. We'll see. But
I mean, mine's a size 13 and a
yeah,
half.
yeah, you got fat fingers. Not an insult, because you have thick ass fingers. So and I've got bad knuckles. Like my knuckles have been beat to shit. So I have to have a ring that can get over my freaking knuckles. Even though my fingers are not that thick, my knuckles are. So, and I have short for a guy fingers, but they're still decent. You know, you got those big old farm boy hands, so it is what it is. You're built like a farm boy, and you know it. Shut up. I mean, at least you're going to the gym. I'm not. So, I'll figure it out.
I mean, hey, whenever you want to go to your apartment gym, I mean,
yeah, just hit me up whenever you get off one day. Just whenever one day you want to get off, or whatever. That sounded wrong. Never mind. Phrasing. Wow.
Now you made it awkward.
Why does everybody feel like they have to say the name of the show? It's weird. Either way, so I did get the sizing for her ring, and there was something she kind of got upset at me a few weeks ago, and brought it up. Like she was just upset, and she was bringing it up because other people are getting married, other people are having babies. Not that we're not trying, but you know, God hasn't blessed us just yet. And she brings up the thing about the ring, and I'm like, and then I basically spilled the beans that I already knew. How big the ring was. I'd already measured the ring size and all this other stuff. And she's like, oh. I'm like, yeah, but now that you've bullied me about it, I'm going to knock it back 2 months. She's like, what? I was like, look, you think I'm not? It's like, you think I'm just wasting my money on toys and car parts? It's like, no. I mean, I am doing that, but it's like, I am looking for other things in the world. So, you know, someday there will be a ring, but now it's going to be... We're probably gonna end up in March at this point. She keeps it up, and I borrowed that from Alex J. Middleton from the Rod Ryan show. So like he wouldn't propose to his now wife because his mom kept bringing it up. It's like because he was gonna propose with his mom's ring and all this stuff,
right?
And he's like, "Mom, every time you bring it up, I'm gonna push it back," and she kept doing it. So it took them like 3 years. Because his mom kept bringing it up. I was like, yeah, I'm totally doing that. And it's like, I don't have anybody bullying us to get married. You know, the irony being that, you know, her moms that fought so hard to finally be able to get married don't give a shit if we ever actually get the piece of paper. Yeah. Because, you know, for them, it's a big milestone, obviously. Them being able to get married is a part of history. Us getting married is a Tuesday. And we already have paperwork. You know, we're already tied together, and I don't even know how many different bills. You know, we're on leases together, you know. Technically, she's driving my car because her name's not on it. So I had to finance that one straight up. But either way, it's like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If it's a situation where it's like the guy's never going to propose and she's doing it to be like, hey, are we going to do this or not? Yeah. If it's proposing with an ultimatum, I think it's wrong. If it's totally heartfelt and she just wanted to be the one to do the thing, I don't see anything wrong with it, especially in this Olympic situation, you know. But in my situation, I just want it to be like, you got married. I haven't been married. It should be my special day. It's like when we get to the actual, if we ever have a wedding ceremony, I want it to be all about me because you've already done the thing. You can't even wear white. It's a joke. But that's just the way I look at it. It's like nothing about our relationship has been quote unquote normal. So I'm okay with other stuff being abnormal.
Right.
Because that's just our life. It's like we don't get the easy way out. Nothing ever happens in the time we feel it should. And it's like, and everything has been a struggle except for us loving each other. Yeah. So it's like, let everything else be as wonky as it should be, you know? At least that's the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah, that just came up. That just kind of floored me because so many people were throwing a fit about it. I'm just like, why? It's like she didn't do anything wrong. It's like if she had won, it would have been even better. Because obviously, you get like, well, look at it this way. We mentioned Taylor Swift earlier. Everyone expected Travis Kelce to propose to her right there on the field right after winning the game.
Yeah.
And I still think that was supposed to be part of the storyline because everything else was storybook up until the fact they screwed up at the fourth quarter when they were supposed to catch that last pass that would have won them the game without going into overtime.
Yeah.
I think that would have been the key. Like, you got to win right there, and then now you can propose to her. But I think because it got screwed up and they did that extra quarter, which, I mean, it's not a quarter at that point, it's a fifth, but whatever. I think that screwed up the storyline, so therefore they could not get engaged right then and there. I think that shifted history. I think that's another...
Sports are all set up.
Oh, it's all fake. Yeah.
All fake.
The Super Bowl, it was proved that the Super Bowl was totally fake this year.
Yeah.
The entire thing. Rest of sports, maybe there's some real stuff. I don't think you can fake curling. For some reason, I love curling. It's so high intensity for something so silly. It's basically shuffleboard. Is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah, shuffleboard. Where you slide the thingies down the thing to score.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just advanced shuffleboard, but for some reason, it's super intense and exciting to watch.
I wouldn't know anything about it.
You ever watch curling?
No.
We should watch some curling before you leave. Like just one quick match, like 10 minutes of a curling match, just because it's one of the most unique sports because it's on ice.
Oh, you're talking about where
They throw the stone and the sweep. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Not curling, like with pumping iron.
Yeah, I mean.
No, not that. No, the throwing the stone and sliding it and the sweeping and everything else like that. It's
okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Now.
and the scoring system that's so like, it scores a lot like cornhole, in a way, because you can negate other people's points and you can knock them out and stuff like that. So I think that's one reason I like it. I don't know.
I don't even play cornhole that often.
Yeah.
No, I don't even. I just know you throw the thing in
It's
the
like
hole.
lack of backyard. Is that the problem?
I guess. But
I mean,
it's
we have a tabletop cornhole out there.
I mean, I just like throw it in the hole.
Yeah.
It's basically all I know. I don't know like the terms and rules of cornhole.
Well, you throw the bag at the thing. Certain things are worth a certain amount of points. If you knock someone else's in, they get the point. If you hit in the hole that they made it in, it cancels out their points. So it's just kind of a thing like that. Yeah, we played a lot. Next time we have a backyard barbecue thing when it's not 1,000,000 degrees, we'll invite you out too.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, it's not our backyard, but we'll invite you.
Oh yeah.
It's my cousin's place, but it is what it is. They've got all the games. Have you ever played the? I don't know if that's an official name, but we call it like the ladder game. So you have like a PVC ladder, and you've got golf balls tied together with a piece of rope, and you basically have to like bolo them.
Oh yeah.
Like that.
I remember getting that for Christmas one year.
Yeah.
Like it was during like you ever play that game called White Elephant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every year.
Something like that. Yeah.
How did you get that in a white elephant gift? That's
Well, I don't. Well, I did get it, but the trade off ended up going to my cousin.
Someone else got it. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that game is fun and addicting because then you get really pissed off when someone else knocks you down.
I mean, I played it a little bit, but not really like
we play it
by the rules.
Yeah. So whenever we get together, because we used to have a family beach day for Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And it was like it became a pun because it was my uncle's thing.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted the family Memorial Day thing. Then he passed away. So it became a Memorial Beach Day. So we stopped doing it back right before COVID just due to some family issues. And then because it was kind of down to the guy who lived down there to secure the beach and have the barbecue pit and all that kind of stuff, and his health and everything else went to shit for a while. And then the family troubles and all that kind of stuff. So it just quit happening. But we carry it on in just like backyard parties, basically doing a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
And including some homemade axe throwing. It's fun. But it's hot. And there's a lot of stickers in that backyard if you're not careful.
Ooh.
Those good little ones that are like in the low grass.
Yeah.
Not the ones that are like up on the things and you walk through them and your ankles get covered. It's like the like briar grass, not the little sticky balls. So I'm going to do a hard segue right now.
Okay.
Yes. So we were talking right beforehand because about TV shows and stuff like that. And something I didn't get to talk a lot about when I was watching it was Resident Alien.
Yes.
Okay. So I briefly talked about it. And I said basically it is really, really dumb, but is captivating enough you don't want to turn it off.
Yeah.
So we got any thoughts on the show? Favorite characters?
Obviously Harry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can like Harry. Like, because there was a weird twist, like, near the end of season 1, I think. Maybe it was a little bit further in. Like, I swear he started being stupider. Like his human form. For those who don't know, Resident Alien, it's an alien who comes to Earth and then finds himself with a crashed ship in a Colorado town. He ends up taking over the body of this guy named Harry, and due to circumstance, he ends up becoming the town doctor. And all he's trying to do is fix his ship, complete his mission, and get out of there. And he keeps getting into wackier situations there.
And becoming more human.
Yes, overall.
Yeah. So he's feeling guilty about if he wants to wipe out the population or not.
Spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
Spoilers into
Whoops.
what his mission was. I had a show that may or may not ever get a final season.
It better.
Dude, it's been a couple years since the final season or the second season came out, and it's like looks like it's still kind of in limbo, unfortunately, because I think it was on not Sci-Fi. What's that other one? One of those channels, one of those weird random TV show channels, and for whatever reason, I guess just low ratings. But I watched it on Netflix.
Yeah.
And like, I'm kind of torn on whether or not Asta is hot. Like, because sometimes she's hot, and then sometimes she's just like, I don't know, like somewhere in between, you know. And she does have that mom butt, though. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You know, she does got that mom butt. And then what was her? I can't remember her name. The bar owner.
The blondie?
She changed her hair to red later.
Yeah.
But she's like super drunk and all this stuff. God, I can't remember her name right now.
I can't remember.
But like at first, she's trying to date Harry, and he's just trying to get along to not be seen as an alien. I do think that the best character interactions are between him and Max, especially
shit.
Yeah, especially early on when he's just threatening him and nobody knows the secret. But you know, it's something that just kind of went to the wayside. I don't know if you remember this. I don't know how recently you watched it, but remember when he had like the balls that were left over from his ship?
Yeah.
And Max had one, and he was like growing hair in weird places, like he was aging faster. His voice got deeper. Like all of that just went away. Like even though other people ended up with the ball later, there were no weird side effects to them. So I was like, what the heck? Also, like Linda Hamilton's role was weird. Is like weird Men in Black type lady.
Yeah.
Searching for aliens, and then you got an alien hunter in there who also has an interesting story. While he does, I mean, the overall story for season 2 was more interesting. We're trying to figure out Goliath, you know, other aliens trying to contact his home world, that kind of stuff. That was a much more compelling story. Although I felt like they spent way too much time in New York for what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Or too little. It felt like it was either too much or too little. It was really weird. But
that episode where they were in New York and Harry took, I think it was like shrooms or something like that.
Yes, he had shrooms. Holy crap! An alien stoned out of his mind, loses control of his. I think he lost control of his human form.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell if he really did or he was imagining he did, because it's kind of hard to tell. But it's an alien-looking dude roaming around New York, so I guess it is what it is.
I could not stop laughing at that scene. That fucking...
Oh, the stuff he was seeing while he was tripping out on mushrooms is crazy. Oh, and the octopus, the first octopus that he frees from the restaurant, which apparently I slept through that part where he stole the octopus from the restaurant. And that's voiced by Nathan Fillion, because, of course, him and Alan Tudyk are super friends. So if one of them's in a project, the other one's going to be in there somehow, some way. So I thought that was hilarious for the longest time, up until the sad, sad death of him. Sad. octopus death. But yeah, no, it was
Cheers.
like, I don't know. Like, I feel some days I really like the show, and other days I feel very like ambivalent. Like it was just a show that was on, and then it's like I got to go finish this.
Yeah.
It's like I got intrigued just enough. And like I think it got better once they expanded the story with like the alien hunters, the men in black and stuff like that, and then the other race of aliens that's doing stuff. I think that made it far more interesting because I feel like season 1 was struggling all the way up until he was about to destroy the world and then changed his mind last second and then went, "Oh yeah, I'm about to blow up the earth." And Asta's like, "What?" And then he's just like, "Oh, hold on." Whoop, just flies off into space to go get rid of his ultimate weapon. Yeah, no, I mean, like, it was okay. It was okay for what it is. I do want to see an end to the show because it definitely got interesting. The final dynamic, you haven't finished it. Wait, so you saw...
Up until the last 2 episodes.
Okay, but you know the truth about Goliath then?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure. I don't want to spoil that for everybody.
No.
Because that was an interesting twist. Like, that was an interesting twist to the story, you know? So I'll give him credit on that. And I wasn't watching a whole lot of good TV at that point, so it was like one of the only things on. I did rewatch the end of Shorzy again the other day.
So, okay, I tried to watch Shorzy.
Okay. I forgot we recommended it to you.
I watched a little bit here and there. I couldn't get into it. Like, it was funny, but I just couldn't get into it because I guess it was because the Canadian accent kind of annoyed me a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah, so I was just
I think if you're not attached to the world of Letterkenny, it's harder to get into Shorzy.
Probably.
Like, because, you know, by the time I watched it, you know, I was already 10 seasons deep on Letterkenny, you know. So by the time, and then Shorzy, you get the first season, there's a 2.5-year break till the second season. Second season blows by, then we get the third season 6 months later. So it's like they played catch up. Letterkenny's gone, so now we only have Shorzy, sort of, you know. So it's just like, I like the humor and I like the characters, but I can see why the accent would get annoying pretty quickly.
Give your balls a tug, shit fucker.
Yeah.
Or tit fucker.
Tit fucker.
Tit fucker.
Tit fucker. The bird. Big sexy. I need to get a take it easy big sex button on here. That'd be funny. Big sexual. Sorry, that happens later. It's like somebody who speaks mostly French trying to say big sexy, but says big sexual instead. And he's like, big sexual. That was near the end of season 1. I mean, like, it's only 6 episodes and they go super fast. I think that's one reason why I enjoy it is like it's so digestible.
About a 20-minute episode.
Yeah, roughly maybe 21, 22 minutes, and it's so much story packed into it, and you know, laughs per minute are pretty high. Oh, speaking of that, I just recalled we've done 2 episodes, and I totally forgot. I watched the new Joe Rogan special this past weekend. The first live Netflix comedy special. So he was actually performing live in San Antonio, and it was going out to the world via Netflix. Some people enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it was pretty damn funny. It had some moments in there that were clearly aged because he was supposed to do a special 6 years ago, prior to COVID, and he was about 2 years into developing it. Then COVID hit. He was about to film the special. COVID hit. Couldn't make it happen.
That's crazy. That's almost been 6 years since that has started.
Well, 2019.
Yeah.
But you got to think, usually when they're working on a special, they work on material for about a year to really get it finite. And then they'll film the special. Under normal circumstances, you film the special 3 some odd times. And then you compile the footage of each one into one special. So you get like the good laughs here, stuff like that. They usually don't tell you that stuff. But watching enough comedy podcasts, you hear this stuff.
I was meaning like since COVID started.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like, so he was a year into making the special he wanted to do in 2019. So he started in 2018. 2019, he's gearing up to film a special, moves to Austin. No, he moved in 2020 to Austin from California. So that also shifted things. So he already had something ready. He was working on it, had it booked, and then COVID hit. So then he had to wait 4 freaking years. So it ended up being a 6-year wait to make it happen. And like a lot of people say they don't like Joe Rogan's comedy. I do. I think he like one, he approaches things from a different point of view than a lot of other comedians.
Yeah.
But also his delivery, because he can look like an absolute maniac when he delivers stuff, and he's very animated, especially his facial expressions. It's like, I liked his last one, because I think it was the one where he was making fun of the Kardashians and calling them demons who suck the souls of men to gain their eternal youth.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Because it's the way he does it too, because he has a stool, but it's clearly bolted down because he would not be able to do these gymnastics on the stool if it wasn't bolted down. So he literally like perches on the stool like a demon over someone sleeping. And like it's like crazy, and he's doing this insane voice. It's like like what's so funny is most guys wear a shirt that won't show that they're sweating. Joe doesn't care. He sweats so much, especially considering he's out. Well, it looks like it was outside. It was not an outdoor venue. It's just a cool looking.
What's that one comedian that performs without his shirt on?
That would be Bert Kreischer.
Bert Kreischer.
He's the one I was talking
Freaking
about earlier
hilarious.
with the vodka. That's their vodka. That's his vodka.
Oh, okay.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
that's Bert. And see, a lot of people don't find Bert funny. I was like, I find Bert hilarious.
Yeah.
He's like, I mean, he does have hit or miss jokes, but actually it's Bert's delivery of stories that makes him funny. And because he lives his life like a cartoon character, he's just funnier than a normal person would be. I mean, I watch his podcasts with other people. I like his Something's Burning podcast because he's attempting to cook while having a podcast, and he's usually failing and usually telling funny stories with other people. And like the stuff he does with Tom Segura is usually really, really funny because Tom has such dry humor and Bert is so over the top. It's like, night and day. And a lot of people don't understand why Tom would be friends with Bert. And they're like, you need to ditch him. He's dead weight. And it's just like, I don't think you guys understand their friendship. It's like, do you think, it's like Tom is a very shrewd businessman. He does not spend a dime if he doesn't have to. He started a liquor company with Bert and is spending millions of dollars to develop this brand new vodka and spending so much money advertising it everywhere. They did a 5K run kind of with other comedians and everything else like that. They're raising money for charity, but the party was put on after the fact by their thing. So it was a promo for not just their podcast together, but the liquor itself, and they're selling it everywhere. It's a huge thing. It's like, you don't start a business with somebody you can barely stand. And when you have to do public appearances with them and you're still doing a mostly weekly podcast with them, it's like, you don't just do that unless they're your friend, even if they're an annoying friend, It's like, I have annoying friends and I start podcasts with them or restart podcasts with them, I should say. But it's just like, people don't get it. I mean, Tom is funny as well. And there's a new Matt Rife special coming out this weekend, I believe. I don't know if you know Matt Rife.
Yeah.
Well, you're of the TikTok generation, so I'd assume you would know Matt Rife. So he's got a new, and it's a nothing but crowd work. He's not doing regular stand-up. He's doing a whole Netflix special where he's just talking with the crowd. So people said they wanted more crowd work from him because that's what people love to see. Him interacting with the crowd, talking crap, or making
insulting
jokes,
the crowd,
insulting them, or just making fun, whichever way it goes. As like, so it should be interesting.
People be like, make fun of me.
Yeah, exactly. And the people who just want to be picked on, or the women who want their boobs signed, or whatever.
Sign my titties.
All the time. I remember watching at least one short or TikTok or reel, whatever it was, and it was some chick who like showed him her tits from the crowd. And he's like, yep, those are nice, but we're in the middle of a show, lady. Security? No, he was joking, but still. But yeah, and as a fan of Kill Tony, because I watch that every single week when
I haven't seen.
Oh, you never watch? Okay, so if you're if you're a stand-up comedy person, you should watch Kill Tony, because it's a weekly comedy show. And I've mentioned it here before. Comes out on Monday nights. They're usually about 3 weeks ahead, usually. And it's usually Tony Hinchcliffe and Brian Redband. They host the show. Then they usually have like a couple comedians or otherwise some type of celebrity as their guest. And then they have people come up and do 1 minute of comedy. I think I showed you one of them before. It was Casey, the crab guy.
Oh yeah.
So that was on Kill Tony. So they get 1 minute to do whatever stand up. And there have been some people lately in the last couple weeks who were so stupid funny. Like I have a bad habit of watching it while I'm working. And I have to like stop what I'm doing because I'm laughing so freaking hard. And I have to sound like a maniac if anybody sees me. Like, because like I've got my earbuds in. And I'm just sitting there laughing my ass off and cussing and everything else like that to nothing. It'd be one thing if I had a radio blaring, but it's on my earbuds. And like there was this one girl on, so she's been a comedian. I think she said like 7 years in New York, and she's got that New York attitude. Like she's just like slumped on the mic stand and everything else like that. She was so damn funny. So funny. And at one point, like they're in the interview, so they do 1 minute of comedy and then do the interview, which is mostly more comedy. If they're good at it, they can answer. Every single answer will be another joke somehow.
Yeah.
But if you make it to where it's not forced, it's great. And at one point, the guest, I forgot who it was, she goes, "Hey, can I get a cigarette?" And like he literally hands her a cigarette, lights it, and she's just standing there smoking, answering questions the whole time on the stage, like it's nothing. Like she just lives there. And just like the whole time, I just could not stop laughing at her. I can't remember her name right now because there's just so many that come through. And then even the regulars they have on the show. So they got people who open, they got people in the middle, and you got someone who closes every single week. Those are paid regulars. And now he's got a buttload of regulars because during one of the arena shows in LA, because he did 2 arena shows back to back. So think about this. You've performed in bars.
Yeah.
You've performed in small open areas. If you even did like a real like theater, like a decent theater, like say the Crichton,
Yeah.
it'd be a completely different feel.
Oh yeah.
So imagine doing the middle of Moorhead Field.
Oh yeah.
And then timesing that by 1,000. And then doing a comedy show, not just singing. That's insane. And they do it. They're doing Madison Square Garden, or have done it technically. Think about that. A comedy show in Madison Square Garden.
Which is also where Elvis did one of his major records.
Yep.
At too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's done something massive there. But that's just crazy to think that you could do a show like Kill Tony in Madison Square Garden. Because there's also the people they're drawing from the bucket have to be in the crowd.
Yeah.
So they have to run people down from wherever they're sitting in the frickin' arena to get on stage. And so I never bought my tickets for that because they started selling online tickets to watch it. And it's good for like a month or so, and then they put it up on YouTube for free, edited. But definitely having watched some of the last unedited one and then watching the edited version, I was like, it's definitely worth the $40 or something to watch the uncut version, because you get the live music portion that it never makes it to YouTube because the band usually plays for like 30 to 40 minutes beforehand, and then they get into a show which is like 3 hours long. So it's a podcast / nothing but stand-up comedians, and it's so random because it can be terrible. Oh, they also have a guy who comes on when people bomb now. So if somebody does a really bad job, they now have a regular who his only job is to come out and clean up when somebody sucks.
Huh.
He comes out, does a joke, does another minute, does a quick interview, and then leaves. It's like just to rile the crowd back up. and he set a world record his first time on. So he comes on, like somebody bombed, like the opening person bombed, then he came on, didn't do a good job, but he did a better job than the guy who sucked right before him. So Tony said, hey, the interview portion is what hooked Tony. He was a really good interview. He talked about his history, how he's brain damaged from his time in the Air Force. These guys beat the shit out of him so bad he has permanent brain damage. Just because he was a nerd who liked to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So these other guys just beat the hell out of him in boot camp. So this next person comes up, bombs again, and he's like, if people are going to keep sucking like this, I'm just going to bring the other guy back up. And so he did. And then the second time up, he kills. Completely kills. And he's like, okay, don't go far because if somebody else screws up, you're coming back out. Next person eats shit. Like, call him back out. His first night on, not only did he get his first minute, he was brought back up 7 times.
Oh my God.
For different reasons. Another time, he just came out as a joke. Other times, he came out to do one other thing, but didn't do a minute. But he had been coming there for a year and a half every single Monday, driving down from Dallas. You know, that's not a really short drive from Dallas to Austin.
No.
And he was coming down every single Monday, coming off of an overnight shift, driving early morning to come down to Dallas, hang out, and then sit around and do whatever. And just, he's been hanging out for a year and a half, and then he comes on his first night, sets a record for how many appearances on a single night, and then almost immediately becomes a regular. And now his new job is to clean up when anybody sucks. I was like, and now he moved to Austin to do comedy full time because he couldn't get the dream going in Dallas.
Right.
Yeah, even though they have an okay comedy scene, it's just not that big a deal. And like, so many people are leaving LA, leaving New York, leaving Chicago. They're all moving down to Texas because it's now the comedy capital of the world. And now if we could get some of the other major comedians to do that, it'd be great.
Like Gabriel Iglesias, he needs to come
Gabe
back
is
down.
still in. You know, dude, he's a hardcore California dude. He ain't leaving. He might not be like all like lefty and weird.
Joe Coy is actually supposed to come down September 3rd to the Toyota Center. And
Yeah.
I really want to get me and my wife some tickets.
But they're like $150.
Roughly, but he's
Yeah.
so freaking
Oh, Joe Coy is
hilarious.
hilarious. And that's what annoys me because like we saw Bert once, we saw Tom Segura once, we saw Christina P once, and we saw Christopher Titus twice.
I mean, I could do payments from
Yeah.
Klarna and just pay it over
Ugh,
time.
Yeah, you could. You could do that by all means. Or work one really good gig one weekend.
Yeah.
Find another gig maybe in Richmond.
Well, I got one this upcoming Saturday. Not
tomorrow, but
not
the
tomorrow, but next Saturday. Out in
The West
and Portal-
Texas town
Port-
of El
Port-
Paso. Sorry, anybody sets that up, I can't not. Was that seven? Is that 7 Spanish? No. What is this?
that's called El Paso.
That's just El
Called
Paso.
Marty by Marty Robbins, I think.
Out
I'm not
in the
mistaken.
West Texas town of El Paso.
Anywho,
I
Well,
fell
I
in
got-
love with the Mexican girl. Love that song. Not gonna lie, I just got chills.
Yeah.
Now I want to listen. That's a good song.
but I got a gig out in Porter for this couple's 50th anniversary,
Nice.
and I'm getting paid $350 for it for doing just 1 hour.
Do your Joe. Get your Joe Coy tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, I would do that, and then maybe if you have to, throw the rest on the credit card,
Yeah.
or do Klarna and then set that money aside and just pay it out of that. You know, that way you don't spend that money elsewhere.
I found that doing it like a pay over time thing, I find that to be easier to do with like big tickets.
It's easier to also part with the money when it's a little at a time versus dropping a whole lot at once.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel you. When I had to do all the car repairs, like, actually, I was better with dropping all the money at once on my credit card because that way I only had, it counted as one purchase, not a buttload of separate purchases with separate interest rates. So I looked at it that way. But I mean, like, for something like that, yeah. I mean, if I did that and then I got like, I don't know, just a bonus somehow, you know, I would be like, okay, cool. I'm going to set that money, and that money's going to be to pay for that thing, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, don't involve it in the normal money. You know, it's kind of like these guys up here. I got a little extra money, so I started buying these bigger Power Rangers behind me here. Making sure they're still vertical.
Are those new or?
Yeah, I just bought these.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Wifey still hasn't noticed. Actually, I have another one. Oh, yeah, it's over there in the chair. I got a third one. Just came in yesterday. And then I've got some more figures. Some figures I've been waiting on for a while. I couldn't find. So I did a quick Google. Target wasn't carrying them for some freaking reason. I have no idea why. And then I just randomly went to Walmart, and they were in stock in Huntsville. So I'm like, I got time. I just hauled ass up to Huntsville because nowhere else in the area had them. I'm like, and then I get there and another figure that I've been begging for years from the Ninja Turtles movies, you know, the actual live action Ninja Turtles movies.
Oh yeah.
Like I've been begging for a Tatsu figure, like not, you know, just begging the world, you know. I was like, he's the only human figure we don't really have a representation of, and he was in the first 2 movies, and boom, there he is on the shelf. I'm like, I don't think this is supposed to be out yet, but it's coming home with me. I was like, I think this Walmart wasn't paying attention to any release dates because they only just talked about this a week ago on the Facebook page. So it's usually the way it works is they'll show a product that's upcoming, and it's clearly sitting on the back rooms of stores, unless that store is just like meh and just put shit on the shelf because people keep finding stuff months before it's supposed to come out. It's like, huh. I mean, yay for me. I got the thing I wanted. But yeah, no, on the tickets thing like that, yeah, because there was a few other. Oh, I was saying with Bert, Christina, Tom. Christina still keeps it low key for the most part. She's not doing arenas, so she'll still do like the improv and stuff like that. That's Tom Skerr's wife, if you don't know. So 2 comedians married together, very hilarious couple. Bert, once he started doing the frickin', he went beyond theaters and he started doing arenas. So he did Toyota Center, and tickets were just stupid. I'm just like, I think it's one reason why people are mad at him. It's just they become so cost prohibitive just to go see a comedian that used to cost them $70. You know, it's like, I get it. You're used to doing big shows, but I could see, because Tom's in Austin now, I could see him doing smaller shows there, like just pop-up shows, you know, work out some stuff, you know, for like, so say you go to Joe Rogan's club, you go to the Comedy Mothership on a random Thursday, because Monday night they're doing Kill Tony, so any other night of the week is something different.
Where's that at?
Austin on 6th Street.
Oh,
Like
okay.
right downtown 6th Street. That's where all the comedy clubs are, effectively, at this point. The Creek and the Cave, Mothership. What's the other one? There's another one right there. I think a block over. It's an older club, and there's Sunset Strip. That's Red Band's club is right there. So they're literally doing a comedy capital, literally. So, but like I said, sometimes the only way to catch those bigger comedians is when they're working stuff out, and you can get it for a decent price because you're just there to see whoever's there.
Yeah.
You know, it's just an open night. Somebody might show up. Because even Joe Rogan will pop into his own club, do a quick show. Apparently Ron White is famous for just showing up on a random night and doing like 5 minutes.
Is he still touring?
He got convinced to go back on tour by Joe Rogan. He retired. He effectively retired. And Joe's like, you're not retiring, bitch. And so he made him come down to the club and watch like Kill Tony and other shows like that. And it inspired him to get back out there. So Ron White went back on tour again last year. After retiring. He came out of retirement, all because Joe Rogan said, dude, you're too funny to fucking retire.
For real?
It's like, be like Carlin. Die on the road.
I love Ron White.
Dude, and he's still funny as ever. And it was funny because there was one night, because I've been watching Kill Tony for about 8 or 9 months. There's one night where it's just whatever. And so pulling names out of the bucket. And he's like, huh, interesting. And he's like, okay, let's see how this goes. The comedy stylings of Ron White. So he literally comes out there and does a fresh minute, like with the joke book out and all. Like just coming out there, work out some material. He didn't sit down and hang out with the rest of everybody else. He just came out, did his minute, and went back up to the balcony to hang out with other comedians. Because they have the VIP balcony. You know, it's where usually he's there every Monday night for Kill Tony. Just hanging out up there. And then now Roseanne lives in Austin, so she's down there doing stand-up. So she's back doing things. She's touring the U.S. doing stand-up at like 69 years old or however old she is.
Damn.
You know, finding a new fervor and everything like that for comedy. It's like, especially after all the bullshit she went through with getting fired from her own show and all that nonsense.
Wait, she got fired?
Yeah, so you don't so remember when they brought back Roseanne?
Yeah.
And they got through the first season, or most of the first season, and then she put out a tweet asking about this. She's married to somebody, or she's in Congress, or she's some type of fucking politician named Valerie Jarrett. And she made a comment about her looking like the masks from the original Planet of the Apes. Like, she's got the haircut. She looked like, it's an appropriate joke. She does look like one of the apes from the original Planet of the Apes.
Dang.
But the problem is that everybody took that as a racial remark because Roseanne legitimately didn't know she was half black, because she doesn't really look black at all. You know, she's got more like the light brown, like very light brown skin, not major black features or anything else like that. So everybody took it to be a racist thing, and then literally 12 hours later, ABC fired her from her own show without allowing her to defend herself.
Dang.
And they put her on an NDA, saying that she couldn't go do like a talk show tour to say her thing. She couldn't go on The View or any other ABC talk shows to defend herself. They forced her into an NDA. So it wasn't until she went on the Joe Rogan show like 6 months later that she finally told the truth about what was going on. And it was because she tweeted while she was high on Ambien. So, you know, drunk thoughts, shower thoughts, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But she tweeted on Ambien, and the thing is, she didn't even complete her thought. Like, she put the first part of her thought and then said, okay, I'm sleepy. And then when she woke up, she was going to complete the rest of her thought in another tweet. Except by then, the shitstorm had already happened. It's like it went all the way around the world and came back before she even woke up. So, yeah, she got fired from her own show and killed unceremoniously off screen. And then they changed it to The Connors the next season. And then it went on for like 5 more seasons. That was completely unjustified. Yeah. So I just find that bullshit. But now she's like moved to Texas. She's way happier than she's ever been, doing more drugs than she's ever thought possible because she can. You know, she was living in Hawaii on a pot farm, more or less.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So she's like, you know what? Living on Hawaii is stupid, expensive, and I'm not doing anything but rotting away here amongst the coconuts in a very literal sense. So eventually, I didn't realize she'd moved to Texas until like 2 months ago, because she said like they brought her out on stage. She says like brand new Texan Roseanne, and just like, all right. So she's been on that show. She's been making a talk show circuit, podcast circuits and stuff like that, you know, talking politics and other things like that, telling her story and other stuff for a few years now, coming out of her shell, basically, you know, and that's always good. It's much like with what happened with Ron White, you know, just fade away into obscurity after like a badass career of like 30 some odd years, 40 some odd years. Hell no. It's like, get back to it, you know?
I always wonder how comedians keep making jokes. Like, how do they come up with new ideas?
How do songwriters write new songs?
I don't know.
You get inspired. You ever written a song?
I did once, but it was bad. Like I don't even
Like the lyrics were bad, or
Yeah.
like super trite and stupid?
like just stupid.
Because I wrote a couple songs back in the day, but I never got to the point where I could sing anything because I didn't know how to make the music end of it. But I could write lyrics and stuff like that. You know, so, and you know, I can write, I can come up with other things, and generally, naturally funny. So, like, there was one time we left the improv, and I was trying to write jokes in my brain. I did have one. I had one that I wrote about getting pulled over for my inspection being out, and the joke was going to be like basically how people identify with different things, and how cops will profile you if you're different whatevers, you know. So I had a whole joke written about it. I just never put it down on paper. But I don't know if I could ever get it on stage. It's something to say funny shit on the internet, you know, especially if you're talking with your friends or just talking to a blank screen, which I'm going to have to do here later. I have to stream at 8 o'clock. But it's another thing to actually write down jokes and work out the beats and, you know, any kind of pauses and things like that, and keep things relevant, not too wordy. And that's one reason why Kill Tony's interesting, because this forces you into this 1 minute box, which is really hard to do, especially if you're a storyteller.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what a lot of these guys who are newbies to the format fail hard, because they want to tell like a 6 minute story. You can't do that in 60 seconds. You can try, you're going to sound like an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to try to, it's got to be an economy of words. It's got to be the economy of time. Things, same kind of thing with a song. It's great to want to write a 5-minute ballad, except people don't listen to 5-minute ballads anymore.
No.
And you're good at 2 minutes and 47 seconds right now if you can get something in and out. And you got to have a very specific trap beat. No matter what type of song you're writing, you have to have this one particular trap beat going on constantly, or else TikTok won't make you famous.
Yeah. Right.
Tell me it's not true.
I mean, I got about 4,500 followers on TikTok and about 40 point something K likes.
Dude, do you know how many followers Charlie has?
How many?
I think he's got like 200,000. Like all he does is share stuff. He doesn't even like do anything. He just shares stuff on TikTok, and he's got like 400,000 subscribers.
I got most of my followers from lives.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I'd be rehearsing and,
Yeah. And TikTok's probably not quite as messy when it comes to copyright music.
No. Not unless if you post it on your page, then they're like...
because lives don't count.
No, not really.
Yeah, so that's.
I mean, unless if someone really wanted to be a Karen and you'd be like, hey, copyright infringement.
I wonder if we could ever try to set up a live stream performance. I mean, I've on here, like on the YouTubes.
What do you mean?
Like for you.
Oh.
Because I'm not monetized, so I don't have to worry that much about copyright nonsense. Also, if it's like a private thing, I could charge, just have people come in and watch live on it, just for funsies, maybe. See if we can make it work. Because it's one thing to do what I do, but like trying to integrate music as well might be interesting. Because obviously we're not going to put your big ass speakers in my living room. Although, it would notice we can always get the office party area downstairs, because that's got Wi-Fi connection down there and room to perform. That might be interesting. Or if you ever want to do a poolside performance, that might be fun.
You got none in this heat.
No, at that point you just don everything else but wear your Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah, I mean, I do have actually bought a Aloha Elvis shirt back at Graceland. The one he wore back in Blue Hawaii.
Yeah.
The red one. Yeah, I actually got that one in the car somewhere. Because I meant to take it to dry cleaning one day and I didn't get to it, so it's still hanging.
Balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to bust that out during summer performances. Yeah, you got to.
I mean, it's still a little bit of a thick shirt, but
yeah,
over time it'll kind of wear it down a little bit.
Yeah, because you definitely need to get something slightly more comfortable for the warmer performances.
Yeah.
Because they're not all going to be a nice indoor, very air-conditioned restaurant.
Next year, if I get the sundial jumpsuit by next August, I'm thinking about doing a tribute to Elvis's last show. So
that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I'll watch that.
And my body figure is more of.
Once you're a bit more in, you slimmed down a little bit more to his size.
Yeah.
Even though he was bigger at that point.
Yeah, he was 350 pounds before he passed.
Was he?
Yeah.
Damn. It didn't seem that
big. Because he wore...
His frame... Oh, was he wearing a girdle?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes way more sense.
That's why he didn't move around a lot.
He's wearing Spanx.
Yeah, pretty much.
Interesting. Didn't know that. So I'm lighter than Elvis was.
Yeah.
Okay. Yay. Yay for me, I guess. I mean, you're way lighter than Elvis was at that point, so good for you. Yes. Look, you're trying to improve yourself. You recognize the problem and you're trying to improve yourself, so you can't ever knock that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just lazy. So all day long, I was listening to the next episode that's got to come out so that I could note both where I want to pull promo stuff and anything I have to edit out or edit in. Because we were talking about, I know we're going to end up here in a second. We were talking about our teenage heartthrobs, from way back when. And so Will was talking about Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, and then Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell, stuff like that. And then he mentioned Buffy's best friend from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and none of us could remember her actual name. So I had to look it up today. I was like, I got to include that. It was like, I got to put in a shameful, like, it's this, just like an edit. It's what I call future SHOKY, So so when I'm doing the edit, I can fix mistakes we missed back then. I can't remember things like Olivia Munn. Couldn't remember her name at all while we were recording. So I actually had to look that one up. I'm like, what the hell was her name? So I'm going to have to add that later. So those things I added for myself making notes on my Facebook Messenger. I think the camera is about to die. So good place to wrap up. Is there any new, you obviously said next Saturday you're performing.
Yeah.
Got anything else coming up that people?
I got, my September, October, and November are pretty much empty as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
But December 6th, the ticket sales are going to be coming out August 24th. It's only $10 a ticket.
Okay.
For the Table at Medley.
Okay.
In downtown Conroe, 7:30 to 9:30.
Nice.
I'm doing like a Christmas-y regular show.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, so like a mix of Christmas and just the regular performance.
Yeah. So at the break, you're gonna put on a Santa Claus suit.
No.
Like go out in your jumpsuit first, and then switch to Santa Claus later.
No, I ain't got that much money.
We have a family Santa Claus suit that would probably fit you.
Maybe.
I mean, it might stink.
Yeah, no. Actually, B&K Enterprises actually sells holiday-themed items, and
Of
they
course.
literally got an Elvis Santa jumpsuit.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. Interesting.
but that one's like $2,000 something.
Of course it is. Because I remember, like, in one of the Christmas albums, I assume he was wearing, like, I feel like I remember him wearing, like, a nice red button-up
Yeah.
at some point in one of the things. Maybe I'm thinking of the cover of the album or something like that, but I seem to remember that. I don't know. That'd be cool, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab a hold of that. I mean, it's $10.
I mean, I would get the.
I'll buy all the tickets. It'll just be a private performance. It'll just be me and Jessica sitting there. Me, Jessica, and Jefe. Sitting there watching. It's like, hey man, I just paid you a lot just so I could come watch you. Sorry.
Well, I'm only getting 75% of the ticket sales.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's show business.
I mean, I performed at Pedro's Taco and Tequila Bar for the past 3 years, and it's always sold like packed out. So,
Yeah.
I mean, then again, those are free shows, so I mean.
Yeah, that's fair. And it's a restaurant when people are coming anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, usually that restaurant's not really packed out on a normal basis.
Yeah.
It's just whenever I promote it about 2 months ahead of time and actually make like a poster, stick it on the door. People come in, they take pictures of it, share it, and then every table is filled.
Nice. Yeah, I guess that's comparatively, because we went to Pedro's a lot even before your performance, and that was definitely way busier.
Yeah.
And of course we knew people who were there, so that was even funnier. So any other Pedro bookings? Probably not for me.
I'm thinking about doing another one next year.
Okay.
Maybe. Just like around the same time. Make it an annual thing.
Yeah. So we need to get you boosted. It's
yeah.
Like, I'm gonna come be your manager. It's like I'm just gonna work for next to nothing, but just so I can help you boost your career. It's like I just get out there and like book shows for you.
I mean, I don't really need a lot as of right now because I have my regular job. But,
but you just said you got 3 months basically wide open.
Pretty much, but September I can't really have September booked up too much because me and my wife's anniversary.
Yeah.
So I don't, and a lot of people are trying to request me around our anniversary. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, just do it before, not after.
I could do it before, but just.
I'll get you for my dad's birthday because it's a week, 2 days before. No, 4 days before your anniversary.
Yeah.
So my dad's birthday is on the 18th. My mom and their anniversary is on the 19th. So right there before. When you said that, and I was like, that's right around my parents' thing. Speaking of which, I forgot to mention earlier that my dad's back in the hospital. He's got pneumonia again. I feel like it's just going to continue to be a problem. Like clearly I think he's just sitting and doing nothing too much, and it just basically just gets sick. And with what happened with the hurricane, being without power for 8 days probably wasn't good for him either.
No.
And I think he's supposed to be on oxygen and doing breathing treatments, and I think that got abandoned when it shouldn't have been. So hopefully things change in the future. I just need him to get through this one. He was not doing good. My mom said he didn't know where he was. He didn't recognize her. He was packing up stuff from the bathroom, saying he's going home. Like, I'm ready to go home. Like, he thinks he's somewhere else.
Oh,
So,
man.
and that's kind of what happened the last time he got sick, is his brain started acting up. Probably because his blood pressure's wonky because he's not breathing right, or his blood oxygen is too low, which is exactly what happened last year. You know, he was sick. We didn't know it. His blood pressure dropped to nothing. He passed out, hit the floor, broke a bunch of ribs. So investigating the ribs, found out he had pneumonia.
Dang.
So hopefully they get through this one. They got enough stressful nonsense going on.
Yeah.
You know, my mom called me about that around like 12:30. Like, I'm sitting here, gearing up to come in here, edit, do the other stuff I needed to do today, and then get ready for us to do this. And my mom calls me. He's like, "Hey, can you bring me some food?" And I'm at the hospital. I'm like, "Oh God, what happened now?" You know, and so I got the whole story. So,
Dang.
shout out to the old man. You need to get better. So he might be a little bit of a nuisance, but we love him. Not quite ready to see him go just yet.
Right.
Even though he's 91 in September. Long time. So either way, with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up, guys, so that Jordan can get home. Yep. So, and make sure you do the like and subscribe thing here on the YouTubes, and of course over on Rumble if you'd like to. And then if you're listening on any other podcast apps, please rate. I've noticed that the actual listens and downloads on Podbean have dropped precipitously. I don't know what's going on there. Like, an episode that's been up for 3 weeks has 4 downloads. It's like, something's weird. I don't know what's going on there. So, do the like and subscribe. Like I said, and of course, you want to write into the show, you can do so at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com, which is down in the description below. You can also check out the Facebook page if you want to follow posts and stuff like that. And I am now putting out weekly trailers for things, and we do have taste test videos coming up that we filmed earlier this week with me, Jefe, and Will. If you'd like, we are planning a blind pizza taste test. So try to guess which pizza came from which place blind. If you want to be down for that, because it'll help us eat the pizza. I will let you know when we officially plan that. Yeah, we'll be blindfolded.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody will be blindfolded for the taste test, so that we can even use your Elvis scarves to blindfold us. Integration, get vertical integration. And so with that, guys, we will see you all next time. Okay, bye. Yeah.